time to rise and shine. I'm Shelby Barrett, the Stoned for the Stoned Roadie Show, and it's time to wake and bake with Craig Reed and Griff Martin.
If the feelings get hurt real easy, you better not watch the show. If your feelings get hurt real easy, you better not watch the show.
The Stoned Roadie Show, Monday, June the 10th, 2024. Action. Well, good morning, fellow Earthlings, and looky here. Yeah, it's Monday morning, Wake and Bake, June 10th, 2024, and it's Wake and Bake episode number 61, and my name's Craig Reed, a.k.a. the Stoned Roadie, and this is my co-host, the rocket scientist, Griff Martin. So what do we got going on this fine Monday morning there, Griff?
Well, I wore my re-elect that MFer hat. Ted Nugent signed it for me right there across the bill. Because, you know, we got to support Mr. T. And he was in Las Vegas having a rally out there. And man, he said it was hot out there. It's hot down here in Florida. I'm about to cook, man. I've been staying inside watching a bunch of stuff on YouTube. And speaking of YouTube, you know, we've been getting a lot of people telling me that they've been pulling our subscriptions. So you guys check your subscriptions and make sure, check it right now, see if you're subscribed still, because that's what's going on. You know, we're getting, for some reason, YouTube is unsubscribing our subscribers because we're not politically correct. And then another thing I would like to mention, of course, you just heard the intro song, our disclaimer song, because Craig does like to hurt some feelings sometimes, and you know he's not politically correct, and sometimes I kind of aggravate it and stir him up a little bit and get him going. But yeah, we're not all about skin formation. We changed our format when we went to the Wake and Bake, so we can talk about anything. It's don't call us a Lynyrd Skynyrd trivia YouTube channel, because that's not really what we are. We just happen to talk about a lot of Skynyrd because Craig was the roadie for Lynyrd Skynyrd, the original Lynyrd Skynyrd, and we can't, Craig, I mean, there's only so much Lynyrd Skynyrd you can talk about, right?
Yeah, that's why I talk about fat folk, because I was once obese about how many years has it been now? It's been 2015. I lost all that weight. Yeah, so it's been 9 years now. Yeah, I lost 80 pounds. Yeah, so so I just like to share my information, because we are a obese society. We're going through an obesity epidemic, and every country around is laughing at us because we're all so damn fat. So. Yeah, I just, want to share my experience of what I went through and when I was obese, and why and how I lost it and everything. And we're going to have Brian Gibbons is coming on. My God, he lost 150 pounds,
Yeah,
and,
so you're helping some people.
Yeah, so, God, we got all kind of people just, they're kind of climbing on the Stoned Roadie shame diet train, like the Trump train, and they're actually, I'm motivating people to, just having people think about what they're doing. Like when you open the refrigerator, you hear that voice going, "Shut the door! You're just stoned. You're not hungry." So yeah, so I just like to share some things I've been through, my experiences with Lynyrd Skynyrd, and what I learned and did with them, and continue learning today on the Stoned Roadie Show.
Yeah, we talk about other things too. Like I've got some trivia things here. We just celebrated the 80th anniversary of D-Day, and we have, like, as of I think 2019, Now it's as of 2021, we have 119,000 World War II survivors left, and they're dwindling fast. And and I kind of wonder, what do they think, about girls in the Boy Scouts? Because as of 2019, there's 361,000 girls in Boy Scouts. Now, the good news is you can't be a boy and go in the Girl Scouts yet, but they're probably working on it, I'm sure. And then we just had.
Well, wait a minute. You left out where Joe went to that memorial service for those people, and he pooped his pants, and Jill had to escort him out. All those people were there, and Joe had to abruptly leave because he pooped his pants.
Well, he had that look on his face like a 2-year-old gets when he poopies in his pants. So yeah.
Well, it must have been something. Jill had to take him away,
And then I think, Ronnie Van Zant must really be, ashamed of what's going on in Alabama, with that big old Miss Alabama, I mean, I'm sorry, somebody might take up for her, but something's not right when you got a 300+ pounder winning Miss Alabama, sweet home Alabama.
How would you have felt when if you were one of those really pretty girls up there, thin and pretty girls up there, and that big old cow won? My God!
Well, they were pretending that they were okay with it.
That's ridiculous. Yeah, they were being politically correct.
Yeah, and then Mr. Maryland just won, and that transgender Mr. Maryland just won, and I guess everybody's starting to accept it, but we don't accept that kind of crap here on the Stone Roadie show. We're not. We don't like that stuff. We're still we're still Americans, and we're old school, I guess, when it comes to that kind of stuff. But
well, I saw today there was a couple of police officers riding around in a multicolored car, and one of the officers had a blonde wig on. He was a transvestite. Swear to God, you whole people are insane. I swear. That's why they did away with Mad Magazine. My God, they can't compete with the real world.
I saw a guy. There was some bridge going over a creek or something, and it was painted rainbow color, and the guy was crawling on the handrail trying to get across it because he felt like he was going to be a transgender if he walked on the bridge. So it's just getting too weird. I just don't recognize things anymore. I ain't digging it, man. I ain't digging it. But I guess that's the world we live in, and things are only going to change if we get Mr. T in there, because he's going to stop men competing in women's sports. That's one of the first things he's going to do.
Oh God, that's ridiculous.
Then I heard in his rally there in Vegas that he's going to eliminate tax on tips for people that work in the restaurant industry. If you get tips, which most of the time, if you get a tip, some of them, I guess, report that. But usually, if you leave a tip on a credit card is the only way you would know it. I try to leave cash and put it right in my waitress's pocket that way. But that's a great thing, eliminate the tip tax.
Don't waitresses have to split their tips with the other waitresses? Because I always leave cash too for the waitress for a tip, but
depends on where.
Don't they have to split their tips?
Some of them do. It's whatever rule that the management has. But anymore, if you don't leave a tip, man, they struggle because the prices are so high anymore, and it's just getting way, way out of control. And I see where Dr. Phil is slamming Mr. B He says you have to make over $11,000 more a year to keep up with all the increases in everything that's going up, and nobody's getting raises to accommodate that. So yeah, those are some of the kind of things that we like to talk about, and that's why that disclaimer song is up there at the beginning. And yeah, we're not just talking about Skynyrd stuff, man. But when we do, we support Lynyrd Skynyrd. I mean, let's talk about how we raised almost $30,000 for the plane crash survivors from the good people that watch the podcast. So don't just slam the
Well, it's
podcast.
more than that now. We raised 25,000 on the first go around, and we raised.
Yeah,
haven't counted it up yet, really.
yeah, it's over
We
30
raised, I don't
grand.
know, probably 10 grand. I don't know.
So, I mean, don't slam us for, other things that we talk about. It is what it is. I mean, if you hammer us in the comments, we're just going to attack you. That's all there is to
We
it.
just you tell us not to talk about something, we'll be damn sure that's what we're going to talk about.
Yeah. But, maybe people don't like to hear that stuff about fat stuff because maybe you're fat. I don't know. I mean,
There's no maybe about it. Yeah.
well, Craig got on my ass when I was like 25 pounds heavier than I am now. But I didn't get my feelings hurt. If your feelings get hurt real easy, you better not watch the show. That's all I can say, because this is not a saving your feelings podcast.
No,
And-
this is a I'm saving your life podcast. That's
Yeah. And if you hung around with the band Lynyrd Skynyrd, Craig, could you be a sissy feelings guy?
no. No, if you got your feelings hurt, you better go home.
Because those guys would eat
get
you
off
alive.
the bus, just go home.
Yeah, I mean, they were constantly just picking at each other.
God, yeah, you can't be on the road and be sensitive. If you are, you're miserable.
And just like somebody was asking, how was it when Ronnie punched your teeth out one day and the next day everybody was happy again? Well, that's just because they were picking at each other all the time. They even picked on Ronnie, from what I understand. They would say things to Ronnie to piss him off, and he'd punch you in the mouth, and then you'd laugh about it and go back to work. So you can't be a thin skin. That's for sure. And when I was in the space program, it was the same way with all those, because I ran crews of guys that were bikers and Marines and truck drivers, and those guys, some of them were thin skinned, but for the most part, that's all they did all day was back and forth, pick, pick, pick. So I don't know. I guess Craig and I, we just aren't built that way. But we did get a lot of great comments and things. And Greg, you were mentioning somebody, they've been trying to like buy stuff from you here lately. They've been like trying to get you to sell them stuff.
Yeah. Our buddy Chris Eldridge, he said, man, I don't never win nothing. I just want to buy one of them fishing lures and one of them $50. And I said, man, I've those half fishing lures, them Lynyrd Skynyrd fishing lures. I said, those are prizes for the show. I said, hell, you can go on eBay and buy them things for $7 a piece, or you can buy a whole set for $25. So he did. He went on eBay and bought a whole set for $25. He said, now sell me one of them $50. I said, I don't sell anything of mine, because I don't set prices for any. I don't like to set prices, say, oh, this is what I want for this. So I put it on eBay and, let people, pick how much they want to pay for it. That's the only way I'll do it. So I told him I would run one on eBay and let him bid on it. So, but hey, Laura Burton. You need to tell me what color kazoo you want. You're the only one that ain't told me what color kazoo you want. And Kathy Godsey, she's getting a kick out of. She goes, I can't believe you're asking people what color kazoo they want. You know, I said, well, that's just an excuse because I haven't sent anything out yet. I'm blaming it on them. I'm moving like a Democrat. I'm blaming it on everybody else. Yeah, but. Yeah, that's what we're waiting on, but yeah.
Well, did you ask
And
them if they want it signed?
oh, yeah, and they all want them signed, yeah,
Yeah, of
but
course.
somebody told me, what, Donna, I think her name is Donna. Oh, God, sorry, I can't remember your last name, but told me that Jethro Tull gave away kazoos at shows and signed
Oh
them.
yeah, I can
Yeah,
see that. Yeah.
yeah, that's pretty cool,
I'm still waiting on my kazoo. So you didn't ask me what color I want, Craig.
huh? God, I talk to you every day. When I send them out, I'll ask you.
I don't care. Just make sure you sign it. Don't matter. Just don't send me a blue one, a blue donkey one. I don't want one of those.
A blue kazoo?
Yeah, I don't want a blue kazoo. But and hey, I've got some Hell House posters, and Craig and Gene signed them. So I leave a thing at the end of the podcast how you can get in touch with me if you want some of those. So when you get to the end of the podcast, you'll see how you can get in touch with me for that, and I'll hook you up for that. And then I've got some band posters that Gene signed. So that's some cool stuff there for you.
Yeah, we mentioned Brian, and Brian's been talking to Peggy. Peggy, Ronnie Van Zant's ex-girlfriend, Peggy.
Peggy Smith. Yeah.
Peggy Smith, yeah, Peggy Smith, and she's agreed to come on the show. I guess she hasn't been feeling good, but she her and Brian talk, and Peggy said say hi to her on the show. He told Brian said he was going to come on and do a show with us, and she said, well, when you do, say hi to me. So. Hey there, Peggy Smith.
Yeah, Peggy's a good girl. I
Can't wait to get you on the
before.
show. That'll be a dandy. So yeah.
Yeah, she used to live like about 20 minutes away from me over in Brevard County over there, and she's a real nice girl. And yeah, that'd be great to have her on. So maybe we could get the lovely Kathy to bring her on the Saturday night special along with any of your exes.
Oh well, yeah. Somebody said we should get Susan back on with Chad, since we kind of had a bad connection because people couldn't hear, and I thought that'd be a pretty good idea because of that, because a lot of people couldn't hear, but now she's used to doing them, and Chad says she actually had kind of fun doing it, and now that she's done one, she might be able to reach back in her memory banks and pull out some stories she didn't think of right at the spur of the moment, and I guess Kathy Gozzi said she doesn't need anybody to write any questions in or anything because she's already got the whole show put together. So
Cool.
Kathy Gozzi said she wants to do a show. She can do a show this Saturday night. This coming Saturday night, we'll do a Saturday night special, and then maybe in a couple of weeks we'll have another show with my first ex-wife Susan and Chad again, and we'll try to get a better connection and a better audio, and we'll have more to talk about there, Roger.
Yeah, and I still got some connections that I'm working on. Todd Howarth, I got to get in touch with him again to come on. TP set us up with that guy, and I think I'm gonna put a message out to Lee, see if I can't get Lee to do an on the road with Griff Martin, Leon Wilkinson's son. I'm gonna start working on that. So there's some things coming up. We're trying to disseminate some more Skynyrd stuff. But in the meantime, we do
a lot of dang shows, man. God Almighty, we were on show number 80, here. I think it was 80 here this last this time last year. I think it was like 80. So we've done 100 shows all so far this year. We did 100 shows. So that's
Yeah, I mean, there's only so much stuff that you can, and we do rely on the watchers, the viewers, to send us questions and comments that we can go over. So that helps quite a bit.
yeah. This is show what number 60, Wake and Bake. So yeah, we just started doing these Wake and Bakes not heck, I don't know, not long ago.
Yeah. Yeah, and and then you got the Saturday night specials that we throw in there too. So yeah, we're still moving along. We're still trying our hardest. So we can jump right into the comments and questions if you want, Craig. You got
Yeah,
anything
let's
else?
do that. Might as well.
We call that jibber jabber.
Yeah, jibber jabber. Let's quit dilly dallying and do some jibber jabbering.
Yeah. So let's not dilly dally and get on with the jibber jabber.
But we need to talk about Cousin Fudge's hat though.
Okay.
Yeah, his hat that he's selling. I got that running on eBay. We have a $2,500 bid on here, and then we got a $250 bid on it. That's Melody and Cousin Figel in 2004, and we got a $2,500 bid on it here. But he paid that much for it back in, I think that's exactly what it cost him at the Freebird auction that Judy had. And then he got it signed. That was in 93. And then he had it signed with all those signatures on it in 2004.
A lot of cool signatures on
there too.
Yeah,
a lot. Had all them signatures on it in 2004. So it's a size 6 and 7/8.
Yeah, you got a lot of folks that aren't here anymore that signed that. So that's, I mean, look at Billy Powell, Gary Rossington. I mean, that's a lot of big names on that hat.
It's the 2004 tribute band and Don Barnes and Larry Junstrom and Jimmy Van Zant and Dale K. Rossington and Billy Powell and Gary Rossington and
Huey on there too.
Huey T. right here.
Yeah,
there, Huey T. And yeah. So yeah, that's going up on eBay. But yeah, we'd rather do it on here, but because eBay, I've got a reserve on it for $29.95, and at that, the $250 of that's a fees right off the top. So yeah. So we're just kind of playing around with it.
And you're putting a flag on there too, right?
Yeah, the flag's up on eBay too. It's up to we got a $250 bid on it. It's the flag Johnny used in 2003, 2004 that he tied on the mic stand. 3x5. That's the cotton. Battle flag, rebel flag, Confederate flag, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, that they no longer use because it's politically incorrect.
Yeah. And just to show you a picture of Craig Reed on heroin.
which is anybody that you haven't sent anything out yet in the women's.
No, everybody gets one of those. But yeah. So yeah, since I've been dilly-dallying and stuff around and not sending people stuff, everybody's going to get a bunch more free stuff. So,
yeah. So the longer it takes Craig to send it out, the more stuff that he sends.
Matter of fact, I was thinking about the stuff I was going to put in the package that I haven't even told anybody about yet.
Oh, wow. And we got another drawing coming up Friday.
Yeah, we got all them fishing lures. I guess we're going to have to. I guess we got a fishing lure we're giving away this week, and the week after that, and the week after that, and then that'll be the end of the spring stuff, and then we got stuff people have been sending in. You know, we can start giving other stuff away, and maybe I'll give away a bicentennial quarters on the next go around.
Yeah, which you
I had my whole coin collection with me. There's a lot of I got coins from all over the world that we can start giving stuff away.
that were on the plane and
Shillings,
get a letter.
yeah, shillings and 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 all the different crowns and all the different currency. I can't remember them.
I mean, if you just got a coin, just a coin that was on the plane with a letter of authenticity from the Stoned Roadie, that right there is
Well,
is
a lot of those coins they don't make anymore because that's all euro now. They all use euro now, so the coins that I have don't even exist anymore.
they're pretty collectible.
Yeah, the shillings and all that's turned into the euro. So all those coins that I have, those don't even exist anymore. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'd say.
Yeah, I got bills from all over the world, and a lot of stuff to give away.
Yeah, he's still got tons of stuff that he could start breaking into. That
Oh God, yeah. I haven't sold anything on eBay for 3 months. I was looking today for stuff I use templates, and I actually run across a fishing bobber that I sold out of Ronnie's tackle box. That it was a Pluto.
No, hold on. When was this? Because we've been looking for the
That
tackle
was years ago, years and years and years ago when I had that tackle box, and there was a Pluto fish bobber in it with Pluto sitting in an inner tube, and I sold it on eBay. I forgot all about it, and I saw the document of authenticity where it came out of Ronnie's fishing box.
See? So you do have that box.
Oh yeah. It's here. I'll run across.
Yeah, I'm going to come up there and pay Craig a visit, and then I'm just going to say, Craig, I'm going to go
like
for
I
a
said,
look.
there's some hooks and sinkers and bobbers and some of that.
Mobile
I
pocket
remember them
fisherman.
jitterbugs and a couple of knives, or I don't know. There's some stuff in there still.
The Popeil pocket fisherman.
That blue. What was the Goofy? The Goofy bobber. That's what it was. Ronnie had a Goofy that was in an inner tube. He used it was a bobber. I thought that was pretty unique. So I sold it on eBay.
Ronnie handpicked that bobber out of the bait and tackle place because he thought that was cool.
I wish I wouldn't have sold it now.
Yeah, well, you got to go find that box. There's probably some other cool stuff.
Anybody out there bought that fishing bobber, I'll buy it back off of you. I'll pay you double what you paid for it.
I mean, that kind of stuff belongs in the Smithsonian, man.
Yeah, it was a blue. What's his name? Goofy. Yeah,
Goofy, yeah.
Goofy in an inner tube. It was a fishing bobber.
From the 70s. So
yeah.
And the Popeil pocket fisherman.
Yeah.
That you think is in there.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's in there. And I remember a couple of them red and white jitterbugs and some other stuff. I don't remember all those in there. Just some stuff he played with casting, I think. Up in
You know,
the-
you're probably pissing some people off because they want to see what's in that freaking box so bad. I know it's aggravating me a little bit because, you know,
I'll find it. It's around here.
because I would be digging for that thing every minute of the day. But Craig, he's like, well, when I get to it, I'll go look. Just like all the poker chips and the keys up in the attic and all that stuff.
It's
He
here. As
probably-
long as it's here, I know I have it.
Yeah.
Or as long as I can't find it, I still have it or whatever.
Oh my God. Well, it is.
Like I said, all that stuff I've sold is a lot of it. I wish I wouldn't have sold.
It is hard to find stuff, you know, a lot of times. I know I go looking for stuff all the time. I got like a militaria collection, a World War II militaria collection. I got Nazi helmets. I got this. This is a pith helmet from actually from a North Vietnamese pith helmet. It's got the commie star on it, and it's got graffiti in it where the soldier carved in some graffiti a little poem about how he wants to kill Americans. And this thing's pretty collectible, and I've got all kinds of stuff like that. I was actually telling my my sister, if I kick the bucket, nobody's going to know what all this stuff is, because you know my grandkids and daughter, they're not interested in any of that stuff. So what you got there, Craig?
Well, one of my Facebook friends sent me that they got it in Jamaica.
Cool. A little marijuana leaf on there.
That's yummy, I think.
Well, you get all kinds of good French benefits, man, from stuff
yeah.
with people sending you stuff. And it's always smoking.
Got a little
stuff.
bitty hole in it, though. It's got a great big bowl and a little bitty draw hole, but he said a pipe cleaner will fit in there. I haven't used it yet.
And he will use it. I guarantee you. He just wants to see what the draw's like on that thing, I bet you.
Yeah.
You got all kinds of peace pipes.
Yeah, thank you for that one. I like that one. That's from Jamaica. From Jamaica, man. I just got it. It took a while for it to get here. Man, the mail is so doggone slow.
Oh yeah, I've got a couple packages. A guy just sent me an email today, said he got a package, and then of course Steve West, his package is in the mail, and it's been taking like 2-3 weeks, man. It's ridiculous. I don't get it. They lost 2 of my packages, and I had to file insurance on about a year ago. So, but anyway, let's get through these comments, Craig, because it's, you know, we're already into the podcast 30 minutes or so. So let's get going. Let's moving on it. Let me see here. Yeah, we were talking about when we went over that whole "What's Your Name" song. Do you remember where that was, Craig? Did you happen to go back and look at your itinerary and find out where that was?
I didn't.
Yeah. And see, I told somebody was emailing me and asking me. I said, "Well, Craig is not." He goes, "You didn't seem like you were interested." And I said, "Well, it's not that I'm interested. I just know Craig's not going to go look that up because he just ain't going to do it." So, so somebody wrote in, Triple R Triple T says, "What's Your Name" was written at a club called The Scope in Norfolk, Virginia. That's where you guys were, I guess, when that happened. Does that make sense to you? Does that sound about right?
It could have been Virginia. I thought it was North Carolina, but it could have been Virginia. I have to ask Artimus. He said he knows.
Yeah, and somebody did mention there is, they sent the link.
Get Dave. Dave's a good friend with Artimus.
That's where that came from. He sent me a link, and that came from an Artimus interview. That's how we got that information. So thank you for that, Triple R Triple T, for that information. Yeah, definitely, I did hear that. And then user who we recently found out is a woman, and we love our women fans because there's mostly guys are Skynyrd fans, but there's a lot of women Skynyrd fans. Says it would be a great idea to come up with a hotel where you got a bunch of cabins that look like the Hell House, and then all of the different cabins that look like a Hell House have Skynyrd memorabilia in there. Now that's a great idea right there.
Yeah.
Have
A lot of
one
that
through.
stuff would probably grow legs, though.
Well, just like copies of pictures and things. Like you could just copies of like Skynyrd pictures and things like that on the walls. That's an awesome idea. Have like 10 cabins that all are the same size as a Hell House, and you go in there and you got cabin 1, cabin 2, and you go in there and there's like a poster of some mushrooms growing in some cow shit, or or a picture of Craig
I
smoking
mean,
a
where
bong.
people actually stayed, like a hotel room.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
and
stay in.
put a window AC in there.
Yeah, that's an awesome idea. And then user
A hot
also
plate.
comments. She says that the fat shaming diet with Craig is really a good thing. Folks may get upset, but sometimes you have to get mad to commit to something sometimes, right?
Yeah.
I don't know of anybody who before they get divorced is happy. I mean, you always, before you got to go do something you don't want to do, you get pissed off. So, I mean, if you're fat, you're not going to go around and go, well, I'm fat, I think I'm just going to lose weight. You really don't like the way your clothes fit, and you don't like
Yeah,
the
you
way
got
you
to have a
feel.
reason to lose. You got to have a good reason to do it, or you ain't gonna do it.
Just like Brian said, he was mad as hell at you, and then he started thinking about it. Now look
Yeah,
at him, man. The guy's 150
yeah,
pounds lighter.
yeah.
That's a
Well, he
whole
was
that's a
serious
whole
about
person.
he had to lose, but he started listening to me. He goes, "That son of a bitch," because he was fat. But he said, more he listened to me. He goes, he makes a lot of sense. What he's saying is true. That's what you got to do it. So, yeah, he realized that, yeah, wasn't doing it to be mean. I was just doing it to help.
And Black Widow Killer says, another fascinating journey into the depths of the mind of the stoned roadie. And, that's one of the things about the podcast is, we get to talking about some bullshit, and then, Craig will all of a sudden he'll remember something that, like the bobber. Craig just, he just remembered the bobber with Goofy on it. And, and then, I mean, you didn't even, before, when you were
Well, I
looking
was
for the tackle box, you didn't even think about Goofy
I
with the
didn't even
bobber.
think about it. No, I was going through I had to write up a document of authenticity for the hat and the flag to put on eBay. And I was going through my things and I saw that Goofy bobber. I went, "Oh, I forgot all about that." Yeah.
So there's probably some pretty cool stuff in that tackle
Well, that
box.
was that. Everything else in there was just, like I said, just jitterbugs and bobbers and hooks and sinkers and just the normal stuff. But that was pretty unique. That Goofy bobber with Goofy sitting in the inner tube. That was really cool. I thought that would be fun to auction
Well, if
off.
somebody walked into the Pawn Stars with that tackle box, that would be a very interesting, pricey thing. I'm sure they would give some top dollar for that thing. Um, Angela Lynyrd, Lucky 48, our last drawing, the year Ronnie was born. And Angela, don't hold me to it, but I swear to God, Gene Odom told me that Ronnie lied about his birthday for some reason. Do you know anything about that, Craig? Either he was born in 47 or 49, but there's a year difference for some reason Ronnie made up. I don't know. I'm sure Judy Van Zant knows more about that than anybody, but I swear to God
Well, it's
that
got to be on his police report on that that arrest record you have has to have his blue birthday.
I don't think it's on. I'll look on that thing, which, yeah, we do have that.
Got to
arrest
be on
record.
there. Your birthday.
I'll look on that.
Your
Yeah, I'll look
birthday's
on that and
got to
see.
be on there.
But it was supposed to be 48, or I could talk to Gene again about it and see what he says. But I will. I'll look on that police record. Steve Jones says July 1977, Super Bowl of rock at Soldier Field. So you were saying it was
Soldier Field, then, huh?
Yeah, what was you saying it was?
Wrigley Field.
Wrigley Field.
I just remember it was Chicago. That's that's pretty good for me to have the city right.
Yeah, and then he says, Steve Jones says, Ronnie and Donnie sang Alabama at Asbury Park, July 1977. Ronnie called Donnie up to sing. You remember that? Asbury Park, 77?
Like I said, there was a few times when Donnie would come up and sing Alabama with Ronnie. Was it
always Alabama?
Yeah. Donnie would sing harmony on it with him.
Yeah, and now he would sing Sweet Biggin, Alabama, because of the Miss Alabama, Sweet Biggin, Alabama.
Oh God.
Sorry for that. Lord, forgive me, please. Elvin Parker. Craig, is it true that after the crash, Leon could only play bass with 3 fingers because of his injuries?
No, he had full use of his fingers. His arm, couldn't use lateral rotation. He couldn't come down like this down here and laterally rotate like that. I guess that's what you would call it. He had to go up like this. He could do that. He had to play with his hands straight up. He couldn't.
Yeah, he couldn't
do this way.
And that's the way it is on his tombstone. That picture of him, he's got it upright, kind of like
it's up like that. He had to play it like that. He couldn't hold it down like that. His arm wouldn't rotate that like that.
I was on the last podcast, I was saying you can tell how many people are still woke or how many people are still sheep by the line at McDonald's. And Jeff says, yeah, the line at McDonald's, funny stuff. Yeah, if you go to McDonald's, you're still eating at McDonald's, you got a serious problem, because that's just nothing but poison. And if you don't know that by now, you need to check into it, because that is, I mean, I've even heard, and I swear I don't deny it, people saying there's human meat in there. They've actually found traces of it, which who knows, man. Hollywood makes movies like that movie Soylent Green, kind of like so they can tell on themselves for what they're doing. Just so, they feel like if they told you about it, it's okay if they do it. So stay away from that McDonald's, man. It's nothing but poison.
Did you see the thing I posted on FakeBook with Gerber, the baby formula, where they pour it out on a tray and take a magnet?
Oh, yeah.
And run across it, and there's metal in the baby formula?
Yeah. Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah. Why are they trying to get metal inside of some of you?
That 5G, man.
I mean, that's why they're dropping all that aluminum and stuff. You're breathing it, everything you have. Everybody's got the aluminum in them from all this stuff they're dropping. And now they're putting in the baby formula. Why are they doing that? I mean,
I don't know, but I don't need to worry about it because I've got so much metal in me. If I've from all my
it
surgeries and
seems
things,
like
I'm screwed.
if that was even kind of known to anybody, that people would be thrown in jail for that kind of stuff, especially Gerber. I mean,
Yeah,
but it
yeah,
just
but
goes on. Why is all this stuff happening? And why is nobody doing anything about it? It's all
yeah,
pretty
you
strange.
see it on the TikToks, all the stuff with the chemtrails and the all the metal and the bio engineered food and all this, and it's just like
But nobody
everybody's saying,
cares. I mean,
yeah, it's nobody's doing anything about it. It's like, how come you're not? I mean, they're worried about like
God,
lawsuits for
it's like all,
cigarettes.
it's like the fluoride in the water. My God, that's what the Germans did to make people docile back in the. I mean, they've proven that, and you've got fluoride in your water.
Yeah, why? What do
I
I
don't
need
have it in my
fluoride in
water.
my?
I have well water, but it's hard to tell what the hell. I got filters on my water, but it's hard
Maybe
to
I don't want it in my water.
tell.
You know,
I'm drinking dinosaur piss.
they're trying to keep your teeth from rotting out. So I mean, when have they gave a damn about your teeth before?
I
I
mean,
don't
it's
know.
common knowledge that fluoride's not good for you, and it's in your water. I mean, it's not in my water, but it's in your water.
Well, it's in my water that I shower with, but
Well, even your skin it absorbs that.
yeah.
Your skin absorbs that fluoride out of the water. Your skin, you get certain things on your skin. You can die from your skin absorbing it. Like they said that fentanyl, you get it on your skin, you can die. Yeah, you get cocaine or whatever on your skin. You get high as shit off of that stuff. Your drugs go right through your skin.
Yeah, and Craig would know about that
Oh,
too.
hell yeah, man.
Well,
Yeah,
Craig,
man.
you wouldn't rub it on your skin though. You'd put it in your nose.
No, we used to roll those joints with they called it angel dust, and you used to roll those
Oh
joints
yeah.
up, and you'd get the chemicals would be on your skin. Oh, you'd be tripping by the time you get a bunch of them rolled up.
Yeah, that cannabinol.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah, you
actually
didn't even have to smoke it, just roll it, and you'd be
they called
tripping.
it THC, but it wasn't THC. It was cannabinol, which is an animal tranquilizer. And yeah, there's all kinds of stuff back in the day that people took that they thought was happening stuff. But yeah, Craig, you're expert on that. I mean, I don't know. That's in your
I've been
wheelhouse.
around the block, man. I've
Yeah, that's in
I
your
know a little. I
wheelhouse.
know a little about a lot of things.
I know a little about it. I know a little
Yeah, I
about it.
know a little. I can guess the rest.
Yeah,
I
I
know
know
a
a little
little
about
bit a lot.
drugs.
I know a little
Uh,
about that. Yeah.
okay. Amelin says she would love to see Susan back on the show again, which Craig is going to work on that with Kathy Godsey.
Yeah, I think we
And
can make that happen. That'd be,
yeah, get a little better reception going there and
with
get
her
some
and
more
get her more
stories.
comfortable on stuff, and get her to think
Um,
about some things that happened back then, because she was around during a lot of that stuff.
LS Freebird says, I knew I wouldn't win being number one.
That's Laurie Shoemaker, ain't it?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Yeah. Well, anybody want to trade with Lori number one for something else? I
You
mean,
know what? When you think about it, you're just a piece of paper in that drawer, and I shake them up. Everybody's got the same thing, but it's really weird that 47 and 48 have won, and 77 and 78 and 80 and have won. They've all been really, really
yeah.
close.
As soon as
You
you
know,
say you're not going to win, and if you go trade your number and then you might win, you might
it's
have
weird that
one.
47 and 48 have won, and 77, 78, and 80 have won. Yeah, but 77 was just a fluke. We'd call that one.
Well,
Uh,
Lori, you have just
by
as good a
mistake.
chance as anybody else to win, being number
Yeah,
one.
yeah, you're just a
Yeah.
number in there. It's just all them pieces of paper just fly around, but
Yeah.
it's weird.
And Tuxedo Manor. Rumor has it that Ronnie offered Ed's spot in the band to Barry Lee, but he was already committed in a tour over in Europe and had to turn it down. Craig, can you comment on that?
I kind of not heard something about.
I think
I don't
Barry Lee
know.
told me that. I think Barry Lee, I think he,
Yeah, something,
yeah, I think
I've
he,
heard that kind of reflected in that direction, but I can't, put it all together. No.
I think Barry Lee told
I
me
think
that because I
Barry
had
was
some,
doing, yeah.
yeah, I had some
Oh well,
conversations with him. And
I
he
don't
was
know.
telling me all kinds of stuff. It was, I should have, he would, I didn't want to, he was in the studio and I had my camera. And Barry's not a kind of guy who wants a camera in his face. And he even told me, man, enough with the camera, and, but I would have loved to, that's a couple guys that I haven't is Derek Hess. Now I think Derek would be okay with it, but when those guys are playing there and they're recording in the studio and they're trying to rehearse, and the last thing you want to do is put a camera in their face and start asking them a bunch of questions and things. So I try to be respectful, but they were really nice, and I do remember Barry Lee. Of course, he told me that story about the birthday cake and I think he did mention something about he was asked to join Skynyrd and he couldn't. So I'm thinking that's true. Um, I could text him and ask him, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what comes of that. Let me see here. Oh, yeah. JCOS6762, a Skynyrd podcast, and the subject is almost as much about fat people as it is about Skynyrd, and they wonder why they lose subscribers. What do you have to say about that, Craig?
Well, we're gonna have people that say that kind of thing, but we have a lot of people that that kind of think positively about our motivation process or whatever you want to call it. But if you don't like it, you don't have to watch it. It's just because I'm not going to change, and this bird you cannot change. Oh Lord, I can't
Well,
change.
one of the thing I think, and since I've been hanging with Craig, and one of my feelings about the reason Craig was with the band is because Craig is pure entertainment, and those guys, I'm telling you, liked having Craig around because he says what he thinks, man. And if you don't like it, and some of it's just funny as hell, and he'll, he probably did whatever they asked him, and he was saying funny shit, and he didn't have a thin skin, and he was for a Yankee, somebody that they liked having around. That's just my opinion. But if you have a thin skin, you don't want to watch the show. So that's why I'm going to start playing that disclaimer at the beginning of every podcast. Because, if your feelings get hurt real easy, you better not watch the show. So,
We're working for that band was a hell of a lot of damn fun. I tell you what, it really was. It was a three-ring circus. It was a hell of a lot of fun.
yeah,
It really was.
I
It was a real
imagine.
life experience, and plus I traveled around the world a dozen times and stayed in all of the finest hotels and ate in the finest restaurants and got treated like a king everywhere we went, and it was great, man. It was,
Yeah,
people giving us women and drugs and what else can you
I
ask
mean,
for? God.
and you're the only one left there's to talk about it. So you and Artemis. So I mean, and as far as the subscriptions go, and you said you wonder why we're losing subscriptions. Well, check your subscription to see if you're even subscribed anymore, because they're definitely pulling the subscriptions. And I'll tell you another thing. There's a commercial running on this channel, on Craig's channel. That's the Dolores Oliver, and she's a Republican, and she's talking about how Trump wants presidential immunity where you can't convict him of any crimes, and she's saying that'll give him a ability to do whatever he wants. Well, how's that any different from Mr. B? He's doing whatever the heck he wants. He's got immunity to do anything he wants. So the only reason he's saying that is because if he does get elected, then they're going to attack him nonstop and try to throw him in jail and impeach him like they did the last time. That's why he's doing it. And so they're running these Democratic liberal ads on the Stone Roadie podcast, and that's how you know they don't like it. And that's why it's proof that they're pulling the subscriptions. So,
well, they came up with some evidence today about a whole lot of hanky-panky with about what went on with 2020, especially in something up there with Atlantic City was going on, and there was a lot of hanky-panky going on with the 2020 thing, yeah.
And they're also revisiting.
There's going to be a lot of stuff coming out with a lot of stuff that's been I don't know, seems like part of the game plan maybe to bring it all out,
They're
right
revisiting the conviction, because they're saying one of the jurors' cousin posted on Facebook that day before they announced the jury made their decision, that he said, oh, it's already decided, he's convicted. So now they're taking a look at that again. So they might have to throw the whole thing out, so that's real. That's just not my opinion. That's already been disclosed. So, yeah. And that was the last comment, Craig, there. So we can go ahead and wrap it up and call it another podcast. And happy trails.
Yeah. Happy trails to you until we meet again, and happy trails to you, and keep token until then, and see you later, alligator, at the wild crocodile, and that's a wrap. Cut.